And welcome back to ProScrims. I am Mr. X. I am joined now by Twiz and Wisdom on Skype. How you doing, Dom?
Hello, how are you guys?
We're doing pretty well. You know, we're just watching some good Call of Duty Ghost gameplay right now. And we're actually going to jump on mid-game, and it looks like FeaR is going to take a lead in this blitz. And Dom, you missed the first blitz game between these two teams on Freight. And it was pretty bad, you know. FeaR, they weren't the best on blitz, I would say, Twiz.
I think it was 22-10.
Yeah, it wasn't. It was not too many to a lot, and it ended up to be a pretty bad game mode for this FeaR team. But otherwise, they've looked pretty dominant. What have you seen from this FeaR team yourself, Dom? Have you been watching them lately?
Yeah, I mean, we did see them on Sunday in the 2K. We saw, when we were talking about this, we were a little worried about can the Halo's players make the adaptation to Call of Duty. But what we've been seeing so far is the Halo players have actually been doing quite nicely. But the Halo players have been playing with veteran COD players have made the biggest improvement so far. And I think with all the roster changes we've seen today, the FeaR squad are sitting pretty right now.
Right, absolutely. And, you know, the FeaR squad is definitely looking good. I mean, their Search and Destroy looks very well, even though they just lost the last one. The first Search and Destroy is extremely just a very impressive display from Formal with his sniper rifle. And right now, you're going to see them play this Octane Blitz. And Twiz, what do you guys like to do on Octane on Blitz?
I think right now, not SoaR is on the least favorable side.
Yeah.
And they get that bad spawn that's like backstrip. So their best bet is either getting into an overextend war or camping their base and, you know, gradually pushing up and getting caps from that.
Right, and I mean, right there you see actually they were trying to overextend. That was Spacely on your screen, and you know, he almost made it to the other team's base. But I mean, we got to go on with Dito. He's 5-1, just totally jinxed him. Dom, you know about that caster curse. Look at this. Everybody I go to, they're just dying left and right. We can't get anything going. So right now we're gonna go on Complex, picks up a kill. Maybe I'm good luck for him. And you know, with his AR, he really has to watch these crosses. I think that's the most important part on Blitz. That you can't really have a standard guy for defense like we were talking before, Twiz. But you need to have at least 1 or 2 ARs just watching that cross. If you can have 1 AR watching the cross and then another one watching the other one, you can cover the whole map. Or if you don't feel you're getting enough pressure, you can have an AR just lock down one side of the map and then flood your subs through the other.
Yeah, definitely, like, vision is half the battle on Blitz, knowing what, you know, your teammates are covering. So if you can have an AR watching over something, like you said, that can make a big difference for
Complex
themselves.
is going to pick up 2 huge kills in the base, and he's going to take out that last player who's Methods, and he's going to get a cap, and he's just a man on a mission right now. He's 11-5. We see him using the Remington. We see him using the MTAR. And right here, I would like to see him keep up the aggression. I mean, you pick up those 3 kills, and your adrenaline starts going, your reaction time gets a little better. I would really like to see him keep up that pace.
Awkward silence has ensued.
Yeah, somebody. You can speak whatever you guys want.
I mean, we see Spacely go down here. Spacely going 6-9. He's the only we're calling them non-SoaR today, right?
Well, they're non-SoaR. They're non-SoaR.
Non-SoaR, okay.
That's the official team name of this team, that they're not SoaR.
I'm liking it. So non-SoaR, I mean, Spacely is the only one with a cap. Methods, slightly positive, but I mean, I don't know. I like the pickup of Liar on the SoaR side. I mean, Liar, obviously, Twiz, you've played with him quite a bit. You were talking about him before. He's one of the few players that you got along with even after you guys didn't play together anymore. Do you think that Liar being the oldest one on the team will make a big influence on this non-SoaR squad?
I think him being the oldest is good for them. If there's somebody to learn from, it's Liar. I'm like, he just knows everything. So I think them having him, and I think him having them as like aggressive, you know, sub players and stuff, like they both benefit from it.
Right, and you see Spacely, he's Sneaky Beaver going around into the FeaR base, and you know, this would be extremely bad for FeaR, and I mean, it's pretty much is extremely bad. Those last second caps are those ones that you really can't afford to give up. I mean, if you're FeaR, you pretty much got dominated handily on that first Blitz game, and now to go into the second half on that least favorable side at the tie, I mean, you would have expected a better showing, especially with the way Complex was playing. But the second half is going to begin. It's going to be 4-4. And if you're this Ex-SoaR team, Twiz, how are you going to play this start? Are you going to go for that aggressive push to get that spawn trap on that back strip club spawn?
I If I'm SoaR, yeah, that's exactly what I'm doing. But for FeaR, what they have to do is either they have to have somebody come up big at their base, or somebody and like hit an overextend war, and then come up clutch, because it's going to be super hard to lock down that side right now.
Right, absolutely. And I mean, that's one of the things that I think we saw from this SoaR team on that last round is that they, on the least favorable side, they weren't really playing as aggressive as we've seen them play. And I mean, right now you see total change of pace, and you see Spacely almost getting a cap. If he would have been able to kill Complex right there up in that top story, he was going to be able to get one. And, you know, right there, you know, FeaR's going to get a cap, but they're just really trading caps. And right now, somebody's got to get map control. You know, you see this slow play right now at a Methods on your screen. He's really got to get up and get more map control.
I like to play for Methods, though. He's just hitting off. If you have somebody sit top row getting cut off that side of the map, they can pretty much do nothing, the other team.
Right, I mean, I do like this spot right here at this truck, though. I mean, Dom, it's one of my favorite spots because you can watch that strip club pretty effectively, and you can see this whole cross to the left-hand side. And right now, I think I want to go on board with Spacely, who's 12-12. He was, I believe, at one point 7-10, so, you know, he's trying to get just into the other team's base and just be super aggressive. And right there, I don't know how much I like that play because he has two teammates behind him. He could easily have gotten on that spawn trap, which could have led to 2 caps.
He did get the 1 cap at least, so non-SoaR are up 1 cap. But like you said, if you can cycle through and get set up on the map properly, you can easily get 2, 3, sometimes 4 caps at a time if you're running your players down the right routes.
Right, and that's one of the things that, I mean, we like to do, especially on the side that non-SoaR is on. That's just going to be 3 players down for FeaR. And, you know, you see Spacely again. He had an opportunity to just set up and just kill that 1 player on that spawn trap, but it looks like they're going to give up another cap. You know, this game is extremely close, and I want to look in the slaying department. You see that Ex-SoaR is pretty much winning the slaying department. I mean, you have Methods at 12-3, Spacely 13-14, and Heist at 11-16, doing a pretty good job slaying. And we're seeing the same thing that was a problem out of FeaR in the first half, is that, you know, Moho really has to step up in the slaying department.
Absolutely. And we actually just saw Liar pick up a nice cap there, so non-SoaR now up 2 caps over FeaR. But like you said, Moho needs to step up the slaying a little bit. I mean, Guido doesn't have any caps. He's the only one on the FeaR side without a cap, but he has the defensive role down pat. And I think for them, that's going to be most important, is if he can maintain defense, as I say that, he goes down. And if Moho can step up that slaying, then FeaR could come back.
Yeah, you know, they definitely still with 2 minutes left, a lot of time left in this game. And Twiz, when would you kind of just start overextending and playing that super aggressive playstyle that we were talking about from FeaR to FeaR? I think
I started close to now, because
yeah, I would definitely agree with that.
You don't want it to get below a minute, obviously.
Yeah, you don't want to.
Right about now is the best time.
Yeah, and you know, right now they get a cap, so that's going to change things up a little bit. They're going to be able to play a more normal speed of the game because they're not going to need to really just force for that next cap. But I mean, you see Formal right now. He's being sneaky in the other team's base, and he is actually going to get knifed as I say that, which is extremely unfortunate. And let's bring up the mini-map, and you see a ton of players on SoaR pretty much just, I like to call it turtling or lamping in the other team, in their own base. So I would really like to see them be more aggressive. And Dom, what we were talking about earlier when you were not here, is that aggressive play in Blitz is really what is going to win these games.
Absolutely. Especially when you're coming.
Yeah.
There was. As you mentioned, the aggressive play is what you need sometimes to make that last second cap, especially because kind of like in CTF, when as you're getting down to the wire, you can't let things go to chance. And on maps like these, especially where the bullet reg is so high and it's so easy to get 2-3 bullet kills, if you play aggressive and you can make those quick kills, you can easily get a cap out of that.
Yeah, and I mean, right there you saw FeaR was actually able to tie it up at 8-8, and right there I love that play out of Formal. He was able to get into that right side of the pawn shop and, you know, just cause a distraction for 2 players in the SoaR base, and they were able to just get in there and get an easy cap. You know, right there you're going to see them trading caps, and this is going to be a really close game. Yeah, this is going to be one of those trade-off wars. And let's see, Moho is in the Ex-SoaR base, and it looks like he's going to be able to get a cap, and that's going to put FeaR up by 1 cap right now. And it's gonna,
I think they just need to all overextend, and then they can't lose.
Yeah, they pretty much just need to overextend right now, and they cannot lose. And it looks like We had another score out of the FeaR squad. And, I mean, you see Complex. He is just going huge in the FeaR base. He kills 2 players. And, you know, that's going to put it away right there. And, you know, FeaR is going to win this Blitz. And I really like the Blitz gameplay out of FeaR on this map as opposed to Freight.
Definitely. As we were talking about earlier, Moho, Mr. X, you pointed that out, that Moho needed to step up his slaying. He was 5 and 10 when we were on board with him before. He then stepped it up to 10 and 12. So almost positive, picked up an extra 2 caps since that point. Complex going huge at 23 and 11. And Dito with some solid defense at 20 and 13.
Right. I mean, just great overall play. I mean, right there when we were talking about Moho, I believe at one point he was 5 and 10. And, you know, he really stepped it up. He actually finished that game 10 and 12. So strong finish from Moho, and he was able to get those caps. I think that's what really separated these 2 teams. And, you know, I believe this is going to be match point going into this next map for FeaR. So if they're able to win this domination map, they're going to win ProScrims tonight. And, you know, what's your prediction for this next map, Twiz?
I think FeaR is going to take it.
Yeah, you know,
because they got momentum in their side, and yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, and you know, they've been pretty much the domination team that we've seen from these 2 teams tonight. I mean, they've won both dominations so far. I would expect them to take this next domination as well. So it looks like the next map is going to be domination on Freight. Right when we come back, you're going to have FeaR going up against Ex-SoaR with game point on the line for FeaR.